Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of Flesh Wound Farce, where we review and discuss your and our favorite comedy films. This is the world's first and only combination trivia host and professional wrestling announcer of Chilean descent that currently resides in Southern California, Ozzy V. And with me, as always, on this program, first in the Northern California Bay Area, world-famous juggler, Greg Larson. How you doing this week, Greg?
Man, doing pretty good. Had a day off. Life was great. Had a little bit of rain. By a little bit of rain, I mean like a few drops. So it's kind of nice. Felt like winter, but all's good, man. How about yourself?
Feeling it. It's good. You mentioned it's winter time. It's also Christmas time. And last night I saw my first Christmas viewing of Die Hard for this 2021 Christmas season. And I will say, hold on a second. I know you're sighing and you're doing like, whatever. But I will say that this was my sister's first time watching Die Hard. And she is in wholehearted agreement that it is a Christmas movie. And if there was anyone that would want to get under my skin in that fashion, it would be my sister. But the fact is, she didn't have the arguments that she was able to give with a straight face when it came to trying to,
or maybe just didn't have the energy to argue with Ozzy.
Oh, you have no idea. My sister, and no, you don't understand. You honestly have no idea, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, third voice you just heard, Flesh Wound producer Todd. But I just want to say, you have no idea the amount of energy that can be produced when we actually start arguing with each other. Like there's a game called Super Fight. It's a card game. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. Yeah, it's an absolute. My nephews found the game. It's absolutely incredible. So basically, you draw cards, and you're supposed to make an argument against one other person as to why the cards and abilities of what you drew would beat the person you're debating against and their cards and the cards that they drew. And it is so my game. Like that is it.
Yeah.
It's almost like somebody talked to me for like 20 minutes and said like, this might work. But anyway, and I just want to make a quick note about this whole Die Hard Christmas movie thing. Like, I honestly think to the people that believe it to be a Christmas movie, they'll watch it at Christmas time. I'll watch it at Christmas time, enjoy it. I'll watch it all year long, but I'll enjoy it more at Christmas time, whatever. But to the people that hear that Die Hard's that they hear that the opinion is out there that Die Hard's a Christmas movie, it's almost like they're offended. They like. It has nothing to do with them, but they're so angry that someone would consider Die Hard a Christmas movie that it almost ruins their Christmas.
Just attack Home Alone. That's what I do.
But I do say that actually adds on more. It craves the craving I have to emphasize that movie is a Christmas movie is only emphasized by the amount of angst against the opinion. And it's just too fun not to avoid. Do you understand what I'm saying, Greg?
Oh, yeah, totally. Although I think that the reverse goes for, our situation, because I honestly don't care either way, but I know how much it gets to you when I mention that it's not a Christmas movie. So
here's the problem is, and this is a problem for me, is that you've lived with me and you've known me to the point to where like what kind of speech patterns or what things you need, how to push my buttons, and it could be any single thing in the world. I could have no opinion on something, but just the way you know how to bring it, it's almost like you with your words you can just make it an incision and just open like up the skin to my arm and like let all this shit in. Get under his skin. We got it. And it'll literally be anything. I could have no opinion on something and Greg will bring something up and just know how to just make me take the opposite side. See, please tell me that I'm wrong. Tell me that I'm wrong.
No, you're like normal. You're probably wrong in some way, but
see, there it is. It's almost natural.
I can't help it.
We've delayed long enough, ladies and gentlemen. This week we are reviewing the Steve Martin film Mixed Nuts, although I should say it's definitely more of an ensemble film, also starring Robert Klein and Madeline Kahn, released December 21st, 1994, rated PG-13 with a runtime of 1 hour, 37 minutes. directed by Nora Ephron, written by Nora and Delia Ephron, although based off of a 1983 French comedy. Todd, if you would please be so kind and do the honors of showing us the trailer.
Hello, this is Lifesavers. Merry Christmas. How may I help you?
I have only 2 months to live.
I'm so sorry, sir. Everyone at Lifesavers is with you.
May I speak to a woman?
Hello, Merry Christmas, if it's all right to say that.
What's your name?
Catherine?
I want to ravish you like a wild animal.
Now stop it right this minute. We can't have that sort of thing.
Philip's job is solving other people's problems.
May I put you on hold while I run to my desk? You're not calling from a bridge or holding a weapon?
No.
Good.
But unfortunately, he's got problems of his own.
I don't know how to say this. My psychiatrist thinks we should break up.
I didn't know you were going to a psychiatrist.
Well, I'm not actually going to one. I've been dating one for 4 months.
And now it's Christmas.
Can we show a little Christmas spirit around here?
Merry Christmas!
Somebody's not in the holiday mood, I guess.
A time when the lonely
If you think your husband is having an affair, he is.
feel most alone.
Static again. Hello, hello?
I can't hear you.
Try clicking the little button. I'm having a problem hearing you.
Look, I'm at the end of my rope, and I want to die.
Click it, please. Go ahead.
I'm very lonely tonight. Is there any chance I could stop by and talk?
Well, if you were willing to make a small donation, say perhaps $5,000.
I'm kidding. I came right over. Do you have music?
I'm not like you, Philip. I'm not one of those people who's only good on the phone.
In my line of work, I deal with all kinds of people. None of them are what you might call conventional. Dancing with you makes me feel all fluffy.
Philip?
TriStar Pictures presents
I wish there were someone I cared for who cared for me.
Are you a professional ukulele player?
Oh, no, I'm a writer.
What do you write?
T-shirts.
Steve Martin
My heart is racing, and I'm feeling all nervous and sick.
That's the way I felt since the day I met you.
I wrote Save the Dolphins.
in the new comedy from the director of Sleepless in Seattle.
Catherine was very distressed, so naturally I had to comfort her.
Mixed Nuts.
Hello, Lifesavers. May I help you?
May I speak to a woman?
You are speaking to a woman.
I apologize. So, usually when we see the trailers on this show, it's the first time I'm seeing the trailer, and these moments hit, I don't know, so well. It was almost like a movie that was ahead of its time, almost. Initial thoughts, this has such a great combination of slapstick humor combined with dark humor. As you mentioned, the company in question, central to the plot, is called Lifesavers, a suicide hotline. And for this to be the center point of a comedy is just so, I mean, it's dark in itself, but it also has all these zany elements that you'd find in a standard slapstick comedy. Greg, how about your initial thoughts?
You know, when I saw the cast, I was really excited. When I saw Steve Martin without gray hair, I was really disturbed. It didn't feel right. But yeah, I'd never seen this movie. And I looked up the cast beforehand, and there were certain people that I was expecting more of. Like when you know Gary Shandling's going to be in a film, you think he's going to be in the film, but he's only kind of in the film, you know. And then Liev Schreiber.
Drew Barrymore was in Scream.
Yeah.
There's a difference with that. That's a Janet Leigh. Don't bring it up. I'll be quiet. I'll go to old rant.
This is on purpose, by the way. Sorry, continue.
No, and then Liev Schreiber.
Speaking
come a long way. But it was fun. I did enjoy the film. There were certain I didn't find Steve. This is one of those Steve Martin roles that, like, I did find he wasn't that funny. But he played an important role for the film, you know. So it's like, and I feel bad because I feel like it's that not that he was serious, but those moments where you can't expect Jim Carrey to be the wild and crazy guy all the time, you know, and let him diversify. But it kind of took me a moment to allow that to happen because, you know, you expect Steve Martin to be Steve Martin.
But just to the point that I made earlier when I was talking about how it's a Steve Martin movie, but it feels more like an ensemble movie where he didn't like play that, as you mentioned, typical Steve Martin role, but he played a very important cog, and everybody had an opportunity to shine. Rita Wilson, even Adam Sandler's in here, pre Billy Madison, I believe. Madeline Kahn in here as well. And again, everybody has their chance to shine, and they do a fantastic job in doing so. Todd?
Yeah, this is one that I think like flew under a lot of people's radars. I remember seeing it back when it came out, but honestly, in 94 high school, I don't really remember much. But I rediscovered this one a couple years ago, and it's been in rotation ever since. I do like this one. I think this needs to end up on streaming or get some TV rotation because I think a lot of people, they haven't discovered it yet or even had a chance. So you have to buy it.
Do you think they would be able to, with kind of the awkward homophobia in a way, joking that doesn't really get allowed on a lot of things these days, even though there's like not negativity towards it really?
At first I thought that was the case, but then to see the towards the latter half of the film, and when you saw the dynamic between that character and Louis, Adam Sandler's character, it became that became less of the main attraction, and you just I saw that this is just another character in this ensemble, and you heard the line at the end of the trailer, "I'd like to speak to a woman." You are speaking to a woman. I mean, that kind of fit in like 2021 pretty well. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be a joke that'd be canceled. It would just be like, it all depend on how the reactions would be, you know, towards as the film progressed. And with Liv Schreiber in that role, it didn't feel like the role was a joke, and he played it true. And that's
well, he's method, so that makes sense. But the one thing people can jump on is he's not a trans person playing a trans role.
Whatever. It was the 90s.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But I do have to say, I did find the trailer kind of funny when Steve Martin makes a comment about, in my line of work, I deal with, you know, special people of all kinds. And then it cuts to Adam Sandler, but that's like not in his line of work.
Right.
It's just like, well done. Awesome.
Clearly something like just done by marketing to whatever. They kind of do these misleading things. Also, one I personally didn't mention also as well, Juliette Lewis in the film as Gracie, also doing a fantastic job. And I think just something to point out, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is high on a lot of people's lists for Christmas comedies, where Juliette Lewis plays just Audrey Griswold. And then here, it's good contrast. That's my point is. So just to get into the favorite points. Now, I mentioned how what I loved so much about it is that you had dark comedy mixed in with like zany humor, but at the same time, when you had some smart, quick, witty dialogue, that just stands out and it shines. And it's when they visit Rob Reiner as the veterinarian. There's two lines he has, and both of them, I just like lost it both times. First, he says, "I deal with people who think animals have feelings." Hearing a vet say that just tickled me. And then this next one was a back and forth between him and Felix, where he sees him and he says, "Oh, a person named Felix." And he responds, "Before there were cats named Felix, there were people named Felix. I beg to differ. I believe the opposite is true." And it's just quick stuff like that, standing out in the middle of all this stuff going on. Just and in that particular scene, what followed through each of them losing their loves, whatnot, just really, really fun stuff. Greg?
So I just have to give a massive round of applause to the incredibly talented, always hilarious, no matter what she is in, Madeline Kahn. I will always love her performances. And I do want to say, shortly after watching Christmas Office Party or whatever that was, yeah, but I do have a feeling that Kate McKinnon watched a lot of Madeline Kahn, because I think she takes a lot of her characters in similar directions. And part of that is because of this role that Madeline Kahn did, that kind of straight edge person who cuts loose, much like in that last film. And when she's stuck in the elevator and does all her musical jingles, God, I was losing it. It was so good. Just, I wonder if they just gave her a bunch of stuff and said, go. You know?
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it. Absolutely. Make no mistake, she absolutely killed it every time she was on. Especially when she really needed to go. That's just, man, bravo on all counts. Todd?
Well, Ozzy, you actually took my number one, so I'm glad I did a backup.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's good. I put 2 down for a reason. I thought that might. Just a little bit with Stephen Wright when he's calling and he's gonna shoot himself. Just after the call hangs up and Steve Martin says something to the effects of, "Oh, if he's really depressed, he'll call back." And they just stand there in silence. Yeah, I lost it.
No, and it just really felt like such like a classic comedy of errors.
Yeah,
it
it's
didn't feel
definitely
like
farce. It's definitely a farce.
100%. And while Steve Martin's hair was a bit distracting, at the same time, at least it meshed in the sense that while you're not used to seeing Steve Martin with hair like that, but you're also not used to seeing Steve Martin in this role. You know what I mean? So
right.
it helped in that fashion.
The marketing people wisely chose to cover that on the poster. You can't tell. He's got the white hat on, so you just think it's normal.
Precisely. But in terms of all the zaniness that happened and just the package altogether, I got to give it a 4.5 from me. 4.5 for sure.
Yeah, that's
Solid.
a solid score. And I was debating between a 4 and a 4.5 the whole time, and I was just like, would you have the same end result just because you found out the person, was the situation he was in? Sorry, I'm trying to stay away from spoilers from a 20-year-old movie, but
I understand that with the way the movie came out, like in the way it transpired, because there's a lot of stuff happened, and what I loved is I thought to myself, where are they going to go from here? And anytime a movie gets to that point, it's like, all right, now we're good here.
Yeah. So I've been debating, and I feel bad just for Madeline Kahn, but I'm gonna stick with the 4. Although Madeline Kahn almost swung that to a 4.5.
I'm with Ozzy. I'm an easy 4.5. And on a good day, I could be a 5 because I do really love this one, and it's on an annual watch now. But yeah, 4.5.
Yeah, solid film all the way around. Unfortunately, it's not available on streaming. Todd, you made the point earlier before we started recording that if this movie could just get streaming somewhere,
you can rent it though on digital for like $4. But
nobody likes to rent anything.
I know that.
They see the price on there, like, I'll just stream something.
Yeah.
But anyhow, that was Mixed Nuts. I would recommend buying it digitally. This is not going to be a movie that, or rather, I should say, this will definitely be one that you would want to add in your Christmas movies rotation. And it won't be a purchase that you'll have buyer's remorse on, if you will. Yeah. But thanks again for joining on this episode where we reviewed Mixed Nuts. We'll be back next week with a new episode following along the tradition of the Christmas comedies coming up throughout the remainder of the month. And then for our New Year's special, well, I shouldn't say New Year's special, because I say New Year's special, people automatically think, oh, you're going to be live on December 31st. No.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
No, stop it. The week of the new year, we'll be reviewing 4 Rooms, the Tim Roth comedy. So plenty of stuff coming up on the horizon. We have Deck the Halls as well as
Deck the Halls.
is Deck the Halls the last one we have left?
Yeah.
Holy cow, Christmas is already here. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
Yeah.
I'm Ozzy V. Greg, Todd, you got anything else to say before we head out?
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I don't know all
We
that
can
stuff.
save the Merry Christmas for next week.
Well, I
that's
said
the
say
final
something.
one.
Yeah.
I said
Don't do
good
it
evening.
now, Todd.
You could say
I know.
Happy Hanukkah.
Well, I can just say Happy Holidays too, because there's other ones that I don't know when.
Non-denominational holiday greeting from Todd, producer Todd Loya, because
Hail-
he's Flesh Wound PC.
Hail Satan.
Anything from you, Greg, or just we'll see you next week.
I was just picturing it hailing on Satan. I was like, oh, the pool would probably be nice for Satan. He'd enjoy it. No, I'm good.
Nice and cool.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ozzy V, and we'll see you next week right here on Flesh Wound Farce.